Hi y'all, this is Retha Offgrid, and today I'm going to do a tutorial, hopefully a quick one, on how to do this silly penguin. This is done with a program called Sketch Guru. It is free, and I will include a link so that you can go download it. This is for the Android operating system, so those of you who have the iPads and all that, sorry. Anyway, let's get after it. Let me close this and open up Sketch Guru. This is what it looks like when it first opens up. I just close this little thing, tell it new, and it doesn't always open up with a white background, so let me show you. If it has any other color background or another picture on there, you just click on this little part right here, and I like to start out with white. Sometimes it's good to start out with a colored background, but for now we're just going to go with white. And we're going to go in and choose a brush. I'm going to go with spray, and I'm going to make it a little better, a little more than halfway. Tell it okay. I'm going to go in on the palette icon here, and I'm going to choose black. And you just choose it here, or you can move the little cursor around, but I just put it on black and tell it okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start this little guy, and he's got his little head up here. His little head, he's kind of looking over sideways at us, so let's see if I can get him. Sometimes little penguins do that. They get this little funny look on their face, and they look kind of sideways at you. And what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of blocking it in. I'm not worried too much about where things are. I'm just getting it blocked in. And penguin has a little white stripe up the front of him. His head, his little wings are black, so we're just going to give him some little wings sticking out here. And I'm not too worried about the little pointy ends yet. I can go in and clean that up and fix it later. If I make a mistake, all I have to do is hit the undo button here. Very nice feature they added. Let's see if we can make his head a little bit bigger here. And all I'm doing right now is just kind of cleaning up these edges, getting them a little more formed. Alright, that's basically the basic shape of the penguin. You can't see it, but I've got a picture, the original picture up here on my laptop right in front of me. So that's what I'm going by. Now what I'm going to do with this, you can pinch and zoom and move it around so I can make this a little bit larger and I can get in here. And then you press the little pin icon, the thumbtack, to stick it, make it stay put. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my brush, and I'm still in the spray, but I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, maybe about a quarter of the way across there, and tell it okay. I'm going to go in and I'm going to choose white, and that's just, I just tap it there and hit okay. Now let's add his little eyeballs in there. Just making two little round shapes here, kind of close together, a little cartoon-like. This is a cartoon. And just going over it a little bit to harden it up a little bit, firm it up, make the knock down some of those fuzzy edges. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I want to, let's put his little eyeballs in there. So let's go over here to thin line, because that makes a harder line, making it pretty opaque. And let's see, let's put the brush size about right there. And I'm just going to test it, except I haven't changed the color yet. So I'm going to go in and change it and make it black. And do that. Now I'm just going to give it a little test here. That's a good size. You can always do a little test anywhere else and then hit undo. And also, don't be afraid to move your tablet around as you need. I'm going to leave this one here so that you can see what I'm doing. But normally I would have turned this tablet around, so I'm going to draw in his little dark parts in his eyes. And I like to put them slightly in toward each other, but you put them wherever you want. And I'm just waiting for my tablet here to come on. Every once in a while it gets a little stubborn on me. That's okay. I don't like that, so I'll make that go away. I'm just rounding this out a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is go back in and choose white again. We're going to put the highlight into his eye, and the light's coming from this direction, just like this. So this little highlight's going to be, oh, about right here, I suppose. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Didn't like it, so I made it go away. You put the little highlight in, and that really makes them come to life. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do his beak. And his beak is orange, and as you can see, I've got an orange here, but these are going to change based on what you've been using. If you don't have an orange there, you just grab your little slider here, move it over into the orange, and I want it pretty orange. So I'm going to set that right there. Casper. My dog is whining. I don't know what he wants, but I'm going to go in and go back to the spray, and I'm going to make it pretty small. I want it soft, and I'm going to do like a little triangle here and kind of fill it in. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It is a cartoon. And sometimes these happy accidents actually make things work better. Now, I want to highlight on his beak, so I'm going to go in, choose a color, and I'm going to lighten it up just a little bit. Maybe make it a little more yellow. And let's see how that looks. I'm going to make that brush even smaller. And we're just going to throw in a little highlight. Remember, the light's coming from this direction, so this is the side of his beak where the highlight is going to be. And I just start from the top and go for the top of what would it be his beak, and we're just going to color that in a little bit. Now I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to make this even lighter, keep it in the kind of yellow tone. We're going to make this even smaller. Tell it okay. I'm still on the spray, okay? Tell it okay. Now, I'm just going to go in and put like a little line here. That's just going to indicate his beak. You don't have to do that, Casper. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to kick the dogs out. They were just making too much noise. Alright. Kind of like having kids, except they're more furry. So as I was saying, I want to work on this part of him right here where the white part comes up. So I'm going to go in and choose white. Tell it okay. I'm going to choose spray, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Not terribly big though. And let's see. Let's see how this looks. So all I'm doing is just bringing the white up. I'm leaving a little bit of the dark around his beak just for some contrast. And okay, you see this part right here? You want this to be kind of a hard angle because that indicates he's turned. His little head is, I don't know if I can show you that or not. His little head's turned. Shows kind of like a fold in his skin. And we're just going to soften this up around here. Bring the little white up around under his eye. But don't take all of this dark out because you want a little of the dark left in there for contrast. Now let's pinch this down. See. Stick it, make it stay. And we're just rounding this out a little bit. You go through and you work on it and make it be yours. So this is the neat thing about art, is you can try to copy this. Not even trying to copy something exactly doesn't come out exactly the same. This is not going to look like the original drawing that I did. In fact, I'm sitting here looking at it and it really doesn't look, well, it looks something like the one that I just did, but not anywhere near. Okay, now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to work on these edges here. Now I'm still in my spray and that size, and I'm still working in white. Okay. And all I'm doing is just going along here and kind of sharpening up the edges. His little paddle wings, they don't really fly, they kind of fly through the water. His little wings need to be sharpened just a little bit on the point, on the edge, the point. And I'm just sharpening this up a little bit. I'm going to move it to here. And we're going to harden up some of these edges around here. I'm still using the brush. I'm going to point his little wing over here on this side. Don't worry if it's not exact. It's okay. Now, just cleaning up these little edges here. If you do something that you don't like, just hit the undo button. You can hit it several times, actually. Many times as it'll let you. I don't know, it'll let me do it 4 or 5 times maybe. I don't know if it has a kind of a hard stop on that. It'll only do it so many times, or it has to do with how much memory you have. But it's nice to have. See, maybe I don't like that, so I went in and redid it. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with his cute little face. Let's see. He's almost got like a round spot here, almost like a cheek. So let's see if we can make him a little round cheek over here on this side. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I didn't really do that in my first one, but it's okay. Now, let's see about the bottom part of him where his feet are. Now, his feet need to be about the same color as his beak. So I already have that color in there, kind of an orangey color. I'm going to choose that. Hit OK. And let's see, on the brush, we'll do the brush and we'll make it go down small. We're going to zoom in down here. And let's just make him some little feet. I did like 3 toes on my original one, and after I did it, I realized I should have made them a little bit webbed. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. Yeah, 3 pointy feet, 3 pointy toes rather, and they don't have 3 feet, they have 3 toes. At least my penguin does. Your penguin can have as many toes as you want. And I'm not worried about how pointy the toes are at the moment, because I can go in and I will go in and fix that. And it's kind of an upside down 3 or a strange looking E. You do your feet however you want. Now, let's see, I'm going to add, let's make this a little bit darker. Add some shadows in there. Make my brush line a little bit thinner. And I'm just working her between his little toes to add some contrast, a little bit of shadowing. Make it look a little more 3-dimensional. I'm not worried about this up here because I'm going to fix that. Now, let's go in and make a little highlight. So I'm going to choose this color. It's just a little bit lighter. And just on the very tops of his toes, I'm just going to add a little highlight. That's the part that sticks up the highest, so it's going to catch the most light. Now, I'm going to go back in with my black. And let's see how this looks here. Basically, all I'm doing is just cleaning up this little bottom edge here. I'm not real happy with that, so let's make the brush a little bit bigger. There, that's better. Sometimes you just have to experiment. Now, I keep wanting to move this because I I normally would kind of move this. Now I'm just going across the bottom here because his little feet come out from underneath him. His feet don't stick out in the front so much, but they're more underneath. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my white, and I'm just going to make that white part of his belly come down almost to the bottom. I'm going to leave a little bit of dark down there just as a shadow to indicate that that goes underneath. And while I have my white ink here, I'm just going to go in and clean this up a little bit. And I went a little too far, so I'll just knock that back. Here we go. Make him, every once in a while you need to kind of step back, make him be regular size, and look and see if there's anything you need to work on. And I can see right here, I'll have to make that black again. It's got a little bit of light color in there that needs to be taken out. Round this out a little bit more. And now, he's floating in the air. We have to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to pick the spray. We're going to make it really, really big. Actually, first off, I want to put him on. Let me make that opaque. I chose the thin line, rather thin, about 1/3 of the way across, and almost fully opaque. And so yeah, we've got black, so we're going to make that go away. We're going to put him, sorry that was my chair, we're going to put him on a floating piece of ice, kind of a little iceberg. And just make a little random shape there. And then to make this look like it's an iceberg, we're going to go here on these little tips. We're going to angle in just slightly. Hope you can see this. Angle in, I don't like that one. So we'll make it go away. Come on, come on, come on, go away. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is kind of mirror that edge there. I went too far that way. So I'll start from here, do it again. There we go. Now he's sitting on an iceberg, and let's give him a little horizon line. So this is ocean, and that's going to be the sky. Now let's pick an ocean color. So we're going to move our little slider over to here and pick a nice, a nice dark blue, whatever color you like. It's your ocean. We're going to pick the spray, and if you remember, we made it kind of big. Not all the way big, but most of the way big. Now what I'm going to do, since I'm going to be working down here, is I'm going to click this and make all that go away. Now, that's a nice oceany color. Now, since this is water, we're going to try to make all our lines horizontal or going back and forth. You never see vertical lines in water except in a waterfall, and we're not doing a waterfall right now. And since this is like an airbrush, we don't have to worry about how close we get over here to this little guy. And it's black anyhow, so it won't matter. If you do get too far into him, you can always go in and color him back in again with the black. Now we're going to do this side. Remember, horizontal. All water lines are horizontal, which means they go back and forth like the horizon. They're flat. And don't worry about making this real solid. It doesn't matter if there's little lines in it. It actually makes it look more like water. Now we're going to go in and do a little bit this way, but mostly we're going to keep it left and right, horizontal. Now we're going to do, now we'll do the sky. Careful with this. Okay, it popped back, so I'm going to click here. And I'm going to choose a different color for the sky, something a little bit lighter. There we go, that's a nice sky color. Click OK, and we will do the sky. Now the sky shouldn't have lines in it, but the program being what it is, there is no smoothing in this. There's going to end up being lines. It's okay. I've got a little trick to camouflage that. I will show you that in just a minute. And keep it smooth. Try not to overlap too much. And just fill in that sky there. Trying to get under his wings. As I said, yours isn't going to be exactly like mine, and that's okay. See, what you want is you want to develop your own style. And even though you may copy what I'm doing here, if you do it enough times, eventually your own style will start developing and creeping in. What you want to have happen is you want people to look at your work and say, hey, that looks like Susie's work. I know she did that because it has your fingerprints in it. Your fingerprints. Okay, now what we're going to do, my little trick for the sky, we're going to go in and we're going to choose white. Tell it okay. Now we're going to go in and make these little puffy clouds. Clouds cover a multitude of sins. And the more you go over it, the whiter your cloud's going to be. And if you see a spot that you don't like, just plop a cloud on top of it. As Bob Ross would say, happy little clouds. Do you know who I like better than Bob Ross? I like the original Wet on Wet painting guru. His name was William Alexander, or Bill Alexander, and he wouldn't say happy little clouds. He would say, fire in those clouds. Fire in those mountains. You are the almighty creator. That's what he would say. So I'm probably putting in more clouds than I really should, but it's okay. Now, what we're going to do, I want to put in a couple of birds. So we're going to go over here to the thin line. I'll make it fairly opaque. And let's see how that size works. Tell it okay. We're going to choose black. And these are going to be like little seagulls. Oh, that's perfect. Little seagulls flying through the air. 3, odd numbers are good. 3, 5. I like putting in 3. And also another trick is whatever, if you do one from left to right, do another one from right to left, and that'll give you a little different look. And do them quick. Don't go in there and just try to make it be perfect, because it won't be. Make that go away. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to clean up some of these edges. You see how the blue kind of bled over into my iceberg here. I'm going to choose white, and we're going to go in and do spray, and we're going to make it nice and small. And actually, let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's zoom in here, pin it. Now, you don't even have to do this if you don't want to, but I thought it just kind of went over a little too far into it, so that's why I want to do this. It's your drawing. You don't have to do this. And all I'm doing is just moving around here. Actually, a little bit of this blue in here is probably okay. It gives it kind of a shadow, so I'm not going all the way to the line. And we're going to do this little middle part here. Pin that. Alright. And I think I'm going to go in and just clean up these little edges here around his wings too. Because the blue really got into that. I'm just cleaning it up just a little bit. I don't like that. Let me make him bigger so I can see what I'm doing here. Just kind of smooth him out. Lose some of those blue edges that faded into there, kind of bled over into it. Make his head nice and round. Remember that show? I think it was a Disney show that came out a few years back, and I think they called it Happy Feet. It was about penguins and they danced. Maybe they didn't dance, maybe they sang, and one of the penguins liked dancing. They called him Happy Feet. I think he ended up saving the colony, so they were happy with Happy Feet. I think he eventually taught the whole colony how to dance. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go in on this little iceberg here. We're going to pick a really light blue. And let's see, where's my spray? Let's make the brush a little bit bigger. We're still on spray. Make it a little bit bigger. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to just make a little blue shadow here. This just kind of plants him on this iceberg. And let's see. I think I want to soften that up a little bit, so I'm going to go in with some white. Make my brush a little bit bigger. We're still in spray. And I'm just going to go around the edges just to soften it up a little bit. There. Now, I think we're just about done here. You can go in and do, let's see. Let's make a little shadow. Oh, I'm still in the white. Let me go back to that light blue here on the edges and just give it a little bit of a shadow. Indicate there's something going on. Let's see. And I'm just going to softly go here and pull straight down. Now, I just told you a little while ago that there are no vertical lines in water, but this is like a reflection in the water. And it indicates that there's something sitting there. So we're just about done here. I'm going to go back to my line and I'm going to sign it. I will sign it in black. Okay, and there we go. There we are. Now, I think we're at our size that we need. There you have it. I hope you got something out of this. Probably not a really great teacher, but I enjoy doing this, and maybe you watching me do this and hear me explaining why I'm doing the things I do, it will be a good thing for you. So give me a thumbs up if you like this, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some more tutorials like this. I had a good time doing it. Hope you had a good time watching it. Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. See you later.